All right, cool. So it's April 5th. Oh my gosh. Right after I press record. Okay, so it's April 5th. Welcome to Team Destiny Call. Super excited to have you on here. We're going to go really quick. I'm just going to give one shout out for recognition because I don't have all of the totals for this month so far. So I'm just going to give a huge shout out to Cynthia because I know, I'm sorry, Cynthia, I totally screwed that up. I meant Cassandra. I was looking at your name at the same time. Cassandra had this want to go out, and she heard about the bonus, the $100 bonus when you sponsor 5 people within, I think it's 5 weeks. Can somebody correct me on that if I'm wrong? And she was like, dude, I need that. So she just went out and got it. And guys, that is huge to just take the initiative and go. Ever since we did the FitMyth group, Cassandra has been on fire and just busting it and going out and getting it done every single month. And I love following her story, and she's sharing it, and she's just going for it. So I totally congratulate her. Good job, Cassandra. I'm super, super excited for you, and I'm excited to see what happens over the next couple months. Okay.
Okay.
Now I just got, okay, can you guys still hear me? All right. For some reason, it said I was logging out. Okay, anyway. So this call we're going to do is really going to be quick tips about how to get some of these awesome pictures that you'll see other coaches post with great contrast, with backgrounds taken out of their profile pictures and all wonderful things like that. So if you have a question, you can put it in the chat, but if I'm not seeing it and you need to get an answer, just unmute yourself and ask your question, okay? I'm hopefully be able to answer a lot of questions here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep up with your chat too. Okay, so let's look at the ones that I first posted in Team Destiny group, and I'll show you how to do that. We're gonna use 3 programs today. If you have a paper, write this down. We're using PicMonkey, we're going to use Canva, and we're going to use Clipping Magic, which is honestly one of my favorite programs of all time. Clipping Magic, I think there's a way to use it for free, but you'll have to Google that. It's kind of like a back alleyway. I actually do pay for it, and it's very inexpensive. Very inexpensive. I think it's like $2, $3 a month. So if you are using it just here and there, do 1 month and just use it as much as possible. Okay, so can you guys see my screen? Can you see the pictures that I posted today with the backgrounds taken out? These are all like Kaylee took her background out. I took my background on my picture. Rainey did, and that's an older one of myself. These are super simple to do in Clipping Magic. So I'm going to pull up, I think Pedro was the first one to put it up. So I'm going to pull up Pedro's picture, and I'm going to just put it on my desktop for now. And I'm going to pull up Clipping Magic. So it's CLIPPINGMAGIC.com. And I already have an account, and you can see all these pictures that I've taken the backgrounds out. Let's see, there's some more in here. That's one of my faves. Just anytime I need a background taken out, I throw it in here. So you drag the image right into it, and then you have 2 sections here. The green dot is, you're just gonna draw on everything that you wanna keep. So we're gonna keep all of his face, and you just haphazardly do this. Okay, so that's what I got for now. Now I'm gonna go to the red dot, and I clicked it, and I'm going to just put it through everything that I don't want. And you see over here how it starts taking it all away? See, that took too much away, so I'm going to take the green dot again and just go for it like that. You see how quick that is? Super, super quick. Let's see if I can get it a little nicer over here. Boom. Look at that, done already. We can clean up over here a little bit too. Now part of his face is gone. You see how simple this is? And you just play around with it until you get a really good idea of how to use it. It doesn't take long at all, and it just takes the background off. So now I can click download, take that picture, and put it right over here onto my desktop and save it. Now I have the background already taken out. So that was super quick. That took me probably like less than 2 minutes. I'm gonna do another one. Who was the other person who posted a picture? Let's see if I can grab it. When I first learned about Clipping Magic, it literally blew my mind because it was taking me forever to take the backgrounds out of pictures. So we're gonna take Patty and do the same thing for Patty. Let me go back to Clipping Magic. I'm gonna put her picture right on here. I'm gonna take the green dot and just put it over everything I wanna keep. Now, because this is gonna be fun because it has a lot of like some of her arm almost looks faded out to begin with. So we'll see what we can do. Wow, that's pretty good, right? All right. So we're gonna just touch it up a little bit, and you can always undo what you just did. You see how quick and easy this is? It's pretty insane. I know somebody has their mic unmuted. Did you have a question, or you just accidentally unmuted your mic?
It's probably me. I just got on. I don't know how to do it. Hold on.
Oh, well, I'm working on your picture. So look at that. Perfect timing. You can unmute yourself if you want. This literally is taking me like 2 minutes to do, although I do lose track of time. So it could have taken me longer though, and I just don't know it. All right, so Patty, look at that. We just took your background out of your picture. And there it is. It's done. So super quick.
I'll have to rewatch because I don't know how you did it anyway.
Oh, that's okay. It's just a website called Clipping Magic. It's about like $2-3 a month. You can use it just for a month, just do a bunch of pictures at one time and then cancel your subscription, whatever you want. You just put in the picture in here, and then you just it'll show you a quick tutorial when you first get on it. Super easy, and it takes less than 2 minutes. You can take the background out, save it, and now you can use it for other pictures. So let's go back. So I just did Patty's, and I did Pedro's. I'm gonna post those in here so they have them. There you go, guys. Enjoy. Where's the other one? Okay. So now that we have that, we can make a picture with those pictures in it. So just like, there we go. Which picture should we talk about here? Let's do one that's similar to this, but we'll use Pedro's picture. So this picture, it looks like Kaylee took out her picture. She put a background picture, muted it, and then put words on top. So I'll show you how to do that. We can do that in PicMonkey. We'll do it in PicMonkey. The other tips, I'm gonna give you like 2 really awesome tips that blew my mind. Do you ever see people's pictures and they look so clean and you're not sure why? Some of the tips that I've learned is if you're gonna do different fonts, only do 2 different fonts. Never do more than 2 on one picture, which I was so guilty of doing, and it makes your picture look super like confusing and all over the place. If you only use 2 different fonts, it'll look nice and clean and crisp. And some of the ways you can figure out what to look good together is you can just Google free fonts and look up images, and you can look up, sometimes you'll see 2 fonts that were put together. See how these 2 fonts, The Magic of and Fonts, are one font, and then Script is another. You can just find different things like that and get the actual font names. And then in Google all, you can go to something like this, free font downloads, and then put in that name, find it. And so let's say one was called Fantasy, and you can, it's not giving me Fantasy. Well, let's just look down here. Let's find a font that we like. Look at all these fonts. so many. Let's say we like this cabin one. We can download the cabin font for free. And you download it into your computer. I'm not gonna do that right now. But when you go into PicMonkey then, once you've downloaded that font that you really love, you can bring it up in PicMonkey and use it. So what I'm saying is you can look on Google, you can go to Pinterest. Pinterest has so many, I'll show you Pinterest, has so many different beautiful examples of fonts. And in that example, it'll give you the name of the fonts. So, do I have to, yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So let's do, we'll look up, and you could spend too much time on this, so don't spend too much time on it, but fonts, handwriting fonts, or two fonts that go together. There we go. 2 fonts that go together. You can look through here and you can start finding different things. Here's one. Top 5 font combos. You see how it has the name of the font? You can just then Google those different ones, see how nice that looks together, and use those 2 together. So you can get all kind of awesome ideas from Pinterest, Adele and Jenna Sue. They look really pretty together. So you can do different things together. Here's other ones, just different things that go together really well. Here's another one, fancy fonts. Here's another one that you can see the different fonts that go well together. And then you can download that font, and then when you go into PicMonkey, it'll actually use the fonts from your computer. So when you're in here, you can, let's pull up a picture. I'll do like the picture that Kaylee had in there. If I can find something, oh, here, I'll do that one. 2, 5. Okay, so I'm in PicMonkey and there's a blank slate here. So if I want to pull in a background picture that I'm going to fade, kind of like the one that Kaylee did, I'm going to go over to the overlay, or you could do it, you can do open new, however you want to do it. Let's do open new. I'm going to open a new picture from my computer. If I can find the one I wanted. Here's one. Because it has, I'm just using this because it has a bunch of people working out in it. And it's already on my computer. Okay, so I'm going to use this picture. I'm going to crop it down. So we're going to go to crop. So we're just going to use the people working out in it. Okay. So we're going to crop it here. Click apply. Now we have just these people working out. There's a couple different ways you can do a faded picture, and you can do this in Canva or PicMonkey. It doesn't really matter. You can add an overlay on top of it, and like a black overlay or whatever, a square, that's what I meant to say, square overlay. Put it on top. You can make it white by changing the colors here. You can make it white, and then you can fade it. And see, now it's like a super muted picture. You see what I'm saying here? Make sure it's actually covering the whole picture. So now that you have this picture in the background, right? Now I'm going to show you how she pulled in, we're going to pull in Pedro's picture. So we go back over to overlays, which it already is, and you go to add your own. When you click add your own, you can pull in a picture from the computer. I gotta find Pedro's picture now. Where are you, Pedro? There we go. And we can pull him out right like that and put him right on top of the picture. Suggestions on what we should say on this picture? I don't even know what to say on here. Put something in the chat and tell me what to say. Actually, I don't even know how to read the chat from here. That's ridiculous. How do I read the chat from here? All right, don't put something in the chat. I'll just write something, or unmute yourself and tell me. So, okay, if I'm going to add words to this, what did she? Here, Kaylee wrote mentorship opportunity. Let's do that. Live fit, live free. We can go into adding text by clicking this little, these T's over there for text, and then you're gonna add text. Now, here it says ours, and here it says yours. Yours is everything that's on your computer. So whatever you have already downloaded, move this to a better spot, whatever you have downloaded in the past is gonna show up here. So these are things that I've downloaded, and two of my favorite fonts that I just started using, love, love, love them together, is this one. So we're gonna do this one. I think it's called Connoisseurs. And we'll write mentorship. We'll write mentorship in the middle, and we'll adjust that to be nice and big. And you can change the color. One of the things that I didn't know before is you can change the color with this, but you could also click this over here and it'll give you the dropper, and you can pick any of the colors from the picture you already have. So you could do this beautiful blue from his shirt and copy that. You could do this pretty pink that's back here on this shirt. You can pick up any color from the picture that you already have and use that picture in that color. I love that green. It's beautiful. You can make it darker, lighter, however you want. I'm actually going to use this blue. So we have mentorship here. Make it even bigger. And then we can do a different font and add the word opportunity. If I can get in there. Why is it not typing? There we go. And I like to use all caps for this one because when I looked up these two fonts together, I had it on all caps. So I'm just gonna go with it, okay? So it says opportunity. I'm gonna make that bigger. There's all different things that you can do in PicMonkey and Canva for that matter. Like in effects, you can do drop shadows and do different colors there to make it pop. I don't like that one though. I don't like white on this one. Let's do a light one. Okay, there we go. So mentorship opportunity, and then what did it say? Live fit, live free. So we can add that and go back to using the connoisseurs maybe. I don't know, we'll see how it looks. No, 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 not in caps. Live fit, live free, and see how that looks. I'm not sure I like that one though. I think we'll have to put it, maybe, I don't know. We could play around with that. I don't like that. So just play around with it until it looks nice to you. But some things to keep in mind. Using similar colors, like two different colors, and using the colors that are in the picture are super awesome. It's so easy to make things super busy by using lots of different fonts, lots of different colors. Too many lines, too many boxes, all of that stuff. But I find that the cleaner and the simpler it is, the more people are going to look at it. If you can make it pop, like having the dark color, you're going to have the black on top of a light background. We could have put a black, like we could have made this black and faded it, but that would have looked awful. Just trying to keep things as simple and clean as possible. Other ways to keep pictures clean, your backgrounds could just be white. If you're taking a picture of yourself and you don't want to erase the background, try to do it in front of a light colored wall. Try to make sure that your shirt is not too busy, all these different kinds of things. Just make sure that it's clean and crisp. And every time I try to make something too complicated, somebody always is like, okay, Ashley, tone it down a little bit. Just take something out. And so you're just gonna have to play around with things, but I really suggest making sure that they're as clean and crisp as possible. I love the idea of fading a picture in the background, really, really faded, because it still gives you this other dimension, but it also gives you a clean and crisp background. The colors I said about pulling colors, you remember we did that. If you're looking for different font combinations, do that on Pinterest. It's super easy to erase backgrounds through clipping magic. And I thought there was one other thing about these pictures over on Team Destiny. You see this one? Those are those same fonts also. Oh, this is what I want to tell you. Okay, so if you need to make something and you already have somewhat of a picture, but you want to make it different, the biggest thing we do is just add a geometric shape on top of it and make it a solid color. So for example, this picture was actually something completely different. Let me see if I can find it. All right, that picture was taken from this picture. And all I did, I'm going to show you real quick. Okay, sorry, I'm totally screwing up the whole screen share thing. Oh, now it's not even showing. Hold on. Bear with me. I can't find my screen to screen share. I don't know why. There we go. Okay, so let's exit out of this. Let's not save that. Okay. So what I did is I just went to, what did I go to? Touch up? Edit. That's what I did. Edit, and I went to, picked up the picture that Rainey already had. I'm like squinting my eyes. There we go. I took the picture that she already had, and I knew I wanted to use it for the picture for our team call. So all I did was pull her picture, and I went to the overlay, the little butterfly in PicMonkey, and I grabbed a square and I covered her words. Well, maybe I didn't use a square. I need to delete that. Use the rectangle. There we go. I covered her words. And then made it the same color, which in this case is white, so that's super simple. But let's say the background here was blue with white lettering and I had to change it. I could have just used the little dropper and did it the same color as her background. And then I had a blank slate and wrote something in there. So I do this with pictures all the time. I reuse pictures. I use other people's pictures when I need to. I take pictures from Beachbody. We do this, like, people do this all the time. And they just erase it by doing that and then add their own words. I can't give you another example at the moment, but let's just say you wanted to do an 80-day obsession picture, and Beachbody had this awesome 80-day obsession picture, and you needed to erase the words like sale or pricing or whatever. You just needed to erase that and just use the background. That's how we would do it, and then you would add your own words to it on top of it, and then you're done. And so it's just a lot of time saving by doing stuff like that. Can you guys do me a favor? Those are just the quick tips I wanted to share with you. Can you unmute yourselves and ask me any questions about how something was done, or if you already have a picture that you were wondering how somebody made it? There's a lot of other suggestions I could give, but I don't want to overwhelm you because it could really go into a lot of detail.
I have a question.
Sure.
Behind Rainey, how did you do a background?
Okay, so I didn't do this, Rainey did, but I'll show you what I do constantly. I look up in Google, say she wanted striped wallpaper I just look for images like this. And then I would just pull it over and save it and put it in there. I just find one that I like. Or you could write digital wallpaper or digital background or, you know, what, I don't even know what that was. How do you spell chevron background? There's one. So let's say she wanted to use this. She'd save it, right? And then she'd go into PicMonkey. I just saved it on my desktop. And I'd go to the overlay and click add your own, my computer. And I'd grab that chevron. And I would overlay it there. Now let's say I wanted it to look somewhat different. Let's say I wanted it like this. Just make it bigger, however you want it, I don't know. And then you can just fade it however you want it in the background like that. Does that make sense?
It does, but how do you put her picture on top of that, or can't you?
Oh, you can. So like, so that's what she did. She put that there, and then she added another overlay.
Write it down since you're giving me
Okay.
information.
I was unaware that you, sorry, that you could do more than one overlay.
14.
Oh yes, many, many, many overlays. However many as you want. Yeah, so you can do that, and then you know, it's just like in other programs, if you want something to go behind something else, you know, you would right click, and then let's say it was accidentally you had it in the wrong order. You would just right click it and send to the back. Well, now it's all the way in the back. But you could bring it forward through layers. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So that's a good question. This is a lot of super fun. And to be honest, when I first started doing this, I used to get very, very frustrated. And I would send Amy pictures that I wanted her to make for me and have her make my pictures. And I would do it all the time.
It's very time consuming for me. I'm not quick at it. There's times where it takes me like 4 hours and I shut my computer and I walk away.
Yes, and that's how I was. And it's funny now that I feel super confident with it, because honestly, it really was like the bane of my existence. And if Amy was here to like laugh with me about it, I literally would send her pictures constantly after like an hour of me already working on it. And I'd go, here, make this look pretty. And she would do it for me. But I finally had to just be like, nope, I'm going to learn this. And I can give you a video I watched that helped me a lot, but I just had to calm down and not get frustrated and just do it slowly without being rushed at the moment. So I had to be like well prepared. I couldn't just be like, oh, I need a quick picture, blah, blah, blah. I just couldn't do that. I had to take time to learn it. Does that make sense? And it didn't take too long when I finally settled down. I was like, okay, I got this. I can do this. And I felt confident with it. Look, there are a lot of questions in here. PicMonkey can be mobile as well. Yes, PicMonkey can be mobile. Clipping Magic, no. PicMonkey is not as, like, it's very limited on your phone. You can do so much more on the computer for PicMonkey and for Canva. Canva, I like also because there's a lot of preset things you can use, but I feel like PicMonkey you can do more customization as compared to Canva. But I feel like they're both really good. Canva I like because I can make a template and then go back and use it over and over and over again and save copies of it. I really like that about Canva. Any other questions? Just to clarify, PicMonkey has the, yep. Like I said, it is an app, but it's not as great. If I send an image message, can you tweak it? Yeah. What You need a picture tweaked? Jen? You can't talk with that thing on? Let me read the other questions. PicMonkey on my phone. Yep. Yeah, PicMonkey is free, and so is Canva, but there's also paid for versions. Any other questions?
Ashley.
Yeah, there you are.
Hi. Sorry. The image that I sent you, it's not mine, but I thought it would be a good example. I don't know if you're able to access your picture on Messenger, but it's actually, I'm part of a critiquing group, and all they do is just this stuff. There's actually a guy in there that charges buku bucks for people to do this for their pages. So this is actually one of the ones she just had redone. And so it's kind of, it shows the different layers and so forth, but I thought you could use it as an example if you pull it up.
Oh, yeah. Let's just show it real quick. I'm not going to show you everything. I'm not going to redo it for you at the moment because it's already
not
pretty
mine.
late.
It's somebody else.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Can you see it right now?
Yes.
Yeah, this is really pretty. And so some of the things that she had to do, like this stripe here, is just when I was showing you to add an overlay. It's just an overlay that's been stretched out. It's a square and then faded and then white letters on top of it. So that's it. That's all they did there. They added a lot of overlays. This was created
my head just
prior.
went boom.
This little thing I think was created prior to this, so they just pulled that in. Like that's her logo. And that I think probably was her logo too that she just pulled in. These are just pictures that were faded. This was just added, another thing that was added. Like she probably has some kind of overlay with no background of this glitter here that they added on top of it. So these are just all different overlays. This is, I don't know if that was already put on there because I don't know where she got that funky coloring. So that might have already been made for her, or maybe they have a different way of doing it. Now, mind you, this might not have been made in PicMonkey. This could have been made in Photoshop. I don't know. And in Photoshop, you can do even more things, and you can pull in more colors and swoosh marks and all that stuff. So I'm actually going to learn Photoshop soon because I really am so neurotic, and I want to be able to take a picture of my computer and or my laptop and put a screen on it. And I can only do that in Photoshop, so I'll end up learning that too. But yeah, this is layering, and you'll learn how to add more and add more to make it look like that. That's a good example. Thanks, Jen. Any other questions? No. Okay. Did you guys learn something? Because I want to, if this is helpful, really? Yay, Patty. If this is helpful, then I'll post it. If it wasn't helpful, I'll not post it.
Super helpful. Please post it so I can go back and make more notes.
Okay. All right, good. Awesome. If you guys have any other questions, let me know and I'll be sure to answer them. I am going to stop this recording.